Andy, speculation, suggestion out of Munich that they're maybe not as confident as they were prior to the German Cup final. Is that good news for Chelsea?
I think it's great news for Chelsea. I think the word to put to them is pressure. I think that applies to Bayern Munich more so now after being thumped in the German Cup final. Richard, I think that pressure is heaped upon them now. They know, having lost the league by a distance, having been beaten by Dortmund, 5 times in a row, that they are under pressure from the fans. The one thing left for them is the Champions League final, and it's at their own ground. It's in the Allianz Arena, and Bayern Munich fans expect. And I think, doesn't matter how good you are, doesn't matter how much experience you've got, I think they're under pressure. And we talk a lot about Chelsea being without 4 players. Remember, they're missing 3. 2 of their back 4 have gone, and a midfield player. So they're missing 3, and I think that they're not the best defensive side anyway, I don't think. And I think that was shown in the cup final.
Jupp Heynckes talking already and posing the question, which he has to find the answer to. If Barcelona couldn't beat Chelsea, how can we?
They've got different tools, I think. And I think they have the tools to beat Chelsea. I think they play with such width, Richard. I think we talk about Ribéry and Robben. They're a threat to anybody. And obviously in the right back area, that's going to be a problem for Chelsea. Will it be Ferreira? Will it be Bosingwa? Be one of those two, you have to imagine, that will play there. Neither of them are the best defensive fullbacks that I've ever seen. So they'll be targeted, I think. So they have that natural width that Barcelona tend not to have unless their fullbacks are high up the pitch. What they also have is Mario Gomez, which is a big, powerful focal point of their attack. And if they want to cross it, then he can get headers in and he can damage teams. Barcelona could never do that. They don't have the tools to do it. They have to play through you to Messi and to all the tiny players that they have. They have a presence, a size. They have a Thomas Muller, 6 foot plus as well, who'll be arriving from midfield. I would imagine Muller will play. He'll be arriving from midfield to supplement that. So they have tools, I think, to really, really damage Chelsea.
What tools do Chelsea have to damage them?
He's got an interesting selection poser. We saw how against Barcelona he selected Juan Mata in the wide areas, and we know it didn't work. Mata was as ineffective in those 2 games as I've ever seen him this season. So I don't think he'll play him there. I think we'll find Juan Mata in one. He'll be in that little gap just behind, I think, Drogba. So who does he play on the wide areas? Ramirez is a massive loss, I think. He really is a big loss. He's had a fantastic season. His energy levels would have been hugely important. So who does he play? I think Kalou seems to be one that will get the nod. And what does the other side? I think he's got Malouda or Sturridge. I think that's his decision. Not sure who he'll go with. I think it will be, he'll have to look at it and think, well, I'll make a decision on the day almost. But you'd imagine it would be one of those 2 who would play in that area. And then you just think that Frank Lampard and John Obi Mikel will be the other 2 central midfield players. I think they're vulnerable to counter-attack football. I think if they can soak up some pressure, if they can bring them on, then I actually think they can catch them going the other way.
Leave them no space to run into.
Yes.
Restrict what Robben
and his
mate can do.
They're going to have to double up at the back. That's what I mean about picking people in the wide areas who can supplement the full-backs. Because they're going to have to do that. They're going to have to, because Lam will be bombing forward. You know what he's like as a full-back. He's one of the best attacking full-backs in the world. So he will be supplementing either Ribéry or Robben, depending on which side they play. So it's important that the wide player on that side of the pitch for Chelsea gets back and helps the full-back. But then doing that, they also have to not forget that when they get it, they have to then make it count. And there may be a lot of the time when they don't have the ball, like Barcelona, but not as much, but like Barcelona, they may not have a lot of the ball. So when they do, it's vitally important that they play, I think they play quickly and get at the back 4, which I think is vulnerable, as soon as they can.
Do you fancy them?
Do you know what, Richard? I want them to win. I want them to win. I really do. Because it's a Premier League side, it's one of this country's teams. So I'd rather a British team win it than a German team. Of course I do. But I just think, as I felt with Man City all season, when the big games come along, they would find answers, and they did. I think they'll find an answer, Bayern Munich. I think the firepower they have, the quartet of Muller, Ribéry, Robben and Gomez, I think you need your best back 4 in there to cope with that. And Chelsea don't have their best back 4 in.
It's live on TalkSport with Andy here and Sam Matterface. Do not miss.
hustling, 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 damn, hustling, 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 hustling.